And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Michaela Loves Gymnastics. How are you guys doing? Today is April 23rd, 2022, and welcome to another solo edition of Michaela Loves Gymnastics. Um, you see the background, you already know I'm at work on break. And today I want to talk about the Chris Waller, Marzetta Frazier situation going on at UCLA. My opinions, I know me and Alex just talked about it in the blunt chat, but we was blunt chatting, right? So I don't feel like my opinions really got um what am I trying to say? I don't feel like I said what I wanted to say because we was blunt chatting. So I'm going to try to give my opinions again in this solo video. First of all, I want to say that I don't feel like this is no big win for the gymnastics community that Chris Waller did not get fired. He quit, he resigned on his own terms, which means UCLA is still going to have to pay that man out his contract, which means he is going to be able to basically get another job as another head coach for another school. Um, Now, we could argue whether that's necessarily a good thing or a bad thing. That's neither here nor there. With me, my issue with Chris Waller is it was never about Chris Waller. It was about UCLA. This is why during the season I wasn't cheering for UCLA. I was, not necessarily hoping anything bad happened to the girls or the gymnasts at UCLA, but I understood the assignment. I understand that if UCLA does amazing, then Chris Waller is going to get a bonus, so on and so forth. So my issue was never with Chris Waller, Manfred Waller. My issue is that with UCLA, the whole system, all the coaches, all the staff, the whole system chose to cover up this incidence of racism and just whitewashing it with drama with the team. And going into the Marzetta Frazier part, I feel extremely sorry for Marz. That sometimes, as a person of color, that other people of color will leave you high and dry when you're out there sticking your neck out for them, right? And a lot of times, people wonder why. A lot of times, black people don't speak up when we feel like we're being targeted for racism. A lot of times, a lot of the LGBTQ community, we don't speak up because of these things. A lot of times when we are being victimized in sexual ways, we don't speak up. Why? Because of these. This is that thing that just happened to Mars. Mars just stuck her whole neck out there on the line for all of her other African American teammates, all of her teammates of colors, so on and so forth. And her teammates, in my opinion, are leaving Mars ass out to dry. They are going with this stupid narrative that it's not racism that's the issue, it's drama within the team that's the issue. And oh gosh, let me stop playing with my hair. I'm so sorry, you guys. And that's one of the big problems with this UCLA thing is that real issues aren't being addressed. I'm sorry, I'm at work. I had to make sure somebody wasn't there. Real issues aren't being addressed. You guys are letting um, Chris Waller being fired be the beginning, middle, and the end of this conversation, where it's not. It's not Chris Waller. It's the team. The whole coaching staff needs to be eliminated. The athlete director needs to be eliminated. It's not just Chris Waller. Chris Waller is just going to get a job at Clemson and be the head coach of Clemson and then turn the Clemson program around and be looked at as a hero. And his whole tenure at UCLA is going to be forgotten. While Marz is going to be looked at as a problem, as problematic, as traumatic, she's not going to be invited to tours because she's going to be labeled as difficult to work with, so on and so forth. So we got to protect Marz in this situation now. Like, Marz is going to be victimized and scrutinized in so many ways that other gymnasts aren't, because she chose to spoke out. Very similar to Colin Kaepernick. I applaud Marz, and I'm trying to think of the right words. When it comes to situations like this, it's not best not to speak out. It's just best to speak out when you know you have support. And you just assume as a person of color that the support is going to naturally come from the athletes of colors and the other gymnasts of colors on the team. And it's just so sad that historically we find that that's just not the case. Historically, we find that the black people is going to leave you out, especially now that you're gone. And now they're getting spots in lineups that they wouldn't have gotten before. You were like, well, damn. Did you just want me to say something so you can get my spot? And that's what it kind of feels like with Marz. And I know she kind of feels that way. And I'm sorry that she does. I'm sorry that she feels like, I'm sorry, not just that she feels like, I'm sorry, literally everybody at UCLA has felt that girl. I'm sorry that she chose to stick her neck out for a cowardice teammate who when Alexis called the person the N-word or was singing the N-word around the black person, it wasn't Marz, it was another gymnast. And that gymnast has chosen to defend Alexis and stand up for Chris Waller and stand up for the UCLA coaching staff. And that's the hard part as a minority. Is that you try to do the right thing, and then if it doesn't directly affect you, if it wasn't you who was being called the N-word, people look at you like you're crazy. Why do you feel this way? Why do you feel so strongly? It didn't happen to you. And then it's really, really hard when the person that it happened to then choose to be the Uncle Tom, then choose to be the coon, and then choose to forgive and forget and let's move on and kumbaya. And then you're like, but wait. But I'm the one who got you the damn apology because I made the noise. So now that I made the noise, I'm the crazy person, or I'm the loud one, or I'm the unruly one, or I'm the one who's hard to work with. When I'm the one who established you getting the results from the situation that you wanted to. But now that you got the results that you wanted to, and now I'm the crazy one, and I'm left high and dry, and it's very hard as a minority to feel that way. And I completely get why Marzetta feels the way she feels about UCLA and her teammates at this moment in time. But those are my opinions. So this isn't no great victory. All Chris is going to do is become the head coach of Clemson or the University of Georgia. Those are my predictions. Who do I think should be the head coach of UCLA? I don't know. Let's give it some time. Let's really sit back. We have a season. Before we even think about replacing Chris Waller, let's get rid of BJ Doss. Let's get rid of some of the choreographers. Let's get rid of the whole coaching staff, and then let's replace them all. And then we can have a conversation about who should be the head coach at UCLA. Before we have a conversation about who should be the head coach at UCLA, why does Dana Duckworth still have a job at Alabama? So, I mean, it's just so many layers to this thing, you guys. So, with that being said, I think this video is approaching the 10-minute mark. I love you guys. I cannot wait for you guys to see what me and Alex have up our sleeves for Elite season. And thank you guys for always being here for this 2-year journey of Michaela Loves Gymnastics. I don't know when I started this channel. I don't know when I joined the GYMterNet, but I know it's been about 2 years. And I thank you guys for this, for allowing me in the GYMterNet community. For those who love me, for those who hate me, I don't give a damn. Sorry for my fucked up lash. I'm at work. And I'll see you guys in the next episode of Michaela Loves Gymnastics.